The following is a sponsored program. High Desert Broadcasting is not responsible for the views or claims expressed in this program.
Good morning. Welcome to AVNewsCast.com on Newstalk 1380. The mic wasn't on during my normal spot. I couldn't find a good spot, so I just had to jump in.
Just follow my bobs.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Cut to the beat.
Yeah, there you go.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Everybody's wonderful?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
We went to the Palmdale City Council debate was, what, about a week and a half ago?
Yeah, a week. Wasn't it a week? Yeah.
About a week
On
ago.
Thursday, yeah.
And at that debate, Richard Loa, who's running for City Council seat, mentioned that he was talking to private counsel.
Yes, he said so.
About filing a motion piggybacking what the city of Palmdale is going to do. And he did yesterday. And he retained private counsel. And this is Powerhouse Private Counsel.
Oh.
Get it done.
Yeah.
Counsel to President Obama.
Stop it.
No, I'm
Holy
serious.
cow.
I'm serious. A very, very
Well, he's the person to know, isn't he?
well-respected law firm.
Oh, Obama trumps Rex just by a little bit.
Just a little bit.
They represent
Close your
many
briefcase.
many clients.
Time to go home.
You know, they do represent a lot of clients. The California Senate
Wow.
hires them.
Yeah.
As a firm.
He came big.
Okay. Now, you know, other candidates that are running for, you know, in the mayor's election,
Right.
they even announced the other day, you know, they've spoken to a private counsel just to get a feeler for what's going on. And
Well, just let Loa take care of it. I mean, he got it now. Just sit back. I'm just saying.
She's too funny. Just too funny. A lot of people feel very confident that the appeal will be successful.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully not overly confident.
Yeah.
Don't be cocky, but I'm just
but a
saying,
lot
if
of-
he is what he is.
A lot of people feel that because the election, the train already left the station, all right, ballots were out, some ballots had been received, that, you know, that at this point right now, it would be wrong,
Right.
Yeah, you got to let it roll.
okay?
Yeah.
I know that the plaintiffs in the city of Palmdale filed some papers with the court, and, you know, in regards to districting, maybe even a map, okay, of how this could work, but to make it work today, you know, it may be premature. And I think they're saying, you know, we'll get it in place, you know, next time.
Right.
You know, not this time. So we'll have to wait and kind of see what's going on. I'm very interested to see what happens.
Yeah.
You know,
You were saying that this judge that made the ruling this is his first civil hearing. He's normally a criminal judge, right?
yeah, I think this is the Mooney. Yeah, he was originally appointed as a criminal attorney, but you know how they move him around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you know, and you go from this to that to whatever.
I say set him in one spot and leave him there so they can build up a career's worth of knowledge on a single subject.
Yeah, because obviously it's not working so much on the next spot.
But I think they get bored, you know, after a while.
Sorry?
And want to go what?
Well, I mean, he does make a
want-
point, because you don't want him, you know, complacent and the empathy all gone from listening to different issues, especially if it's the same one.
Well, there's not supposed to be empathy in a judge. There's supposed to be facts. You know, one side of the
Maybe
facts weighs
empathy
out
is not-
more
maybe
than the other
empathy-
side of the facts.
Yeah, but you know, some judges is like, okay, that's what it looks like. That's what it is. I mean, that's why there's a lot of black folks in jail.
There it goes.
I'm sorry, but it
Just
is.
leave the door open, just a crack.
8-10. Okay.
Okay, just a crack.
No,
And she's
you
gonna find a
let
way
me
to
know if
wiggle
I'm
room.
wrong. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I'm not. I'm not. I mean, we've talked about.
But then that would be, if there would be empathy towards white people then, if that's the way you're saying. So if we rule out empathy and just go with facts and logic,
Yeah, but
then color wouldn't play a factor.
Yeah, that would be the case, but that's not the case. It's not the case.
Yesterday, the Antelope Valley Union High School
I'm
District.
sorry, is our justice system straight? Is it good?
You know,
Is it balanced?
I'm saying get rid of the personal
I'm just
issues
asking
and
if you
just
guys
go with
think it's
logic.
balanced. I'm just
No.
wondering. Okay, good.
no. Okay?
I really have to hold my balls up.
It's funny because, you know, as I said, you just leave the door open just a crack, okay?
But I
Just a crack.
don't appreciate that because
And-
these are things that need to be talked about because everybody acts like it doesn't happen or I'm grabbing something out the sky and I'm not. I'm
No.
talking about things that need to be discussed.
I know, and you found a little spot, and we can discuss it. I just think I
I'm
like
always
the
going to
fact,
find it. That's right.
I like the fact that my cell phone number is published on my Facebook page,
Right.
and listeners listen, and they have my cell phone number, and they send text messages. And this one says that didn't take long.
8:10.
Okay.
I mean, for whoever wrote that, these are valid issues. I'm sorry that the world that we live in is like this, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, and our justice system is not perfect.
Nope.
We know that it's not, but it is what we have, and it is perhaps the best system on the planet.
Perhaps.
Okay? It is what it is. Can it be better? Of course. Everything can always be better.
Mm-hmm.
It took a long time to get it to this point.
Okay.
Okay. Fine.
Moving on.
Yeah.
We're moving right on. Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act.
Yes.
Locally, the Antelope Valley Union High School District said, hey, we got to save some money. We got to save some money, so we're going to take our coaches,
See ya.
part-time employees, everybody else, and we're cutting you back to 25 hours a week. Because this is going to be a major effect on our health care costs. Now, I've heard it from auto dealers. I've heard it from restaurateurs, fast food restaurants, department stores, and now school districts, Angelina. Okay? Now,
Still the greatest thing that ever happened, Steve. It really is. Everybody's going to benefit.
It's the most necessary thing that has ever happened. Not that has ever happened, but it is the most necessary. And it's a shame that the businesses are using this as a reason to cut back to keep money in their pocket. That's how I see it. Sorry.
No, that's not right.
No, you know what? Let me
No,
just
I don't
say
know the
something.
mom and pop restaurants. It's a high margin business.
No, let me just say this. We don't really know what their premiums are.
I
We
watch
just
enough
hear
Gordon
what they're
Ramsay.
saying. They're saying I have to cut costs because of my insurance costs that are coming in. We don't know what it is.
We want to provide poorer service to our customers. That'll bring more people in the door and increase our profits along with cutting down
There's
the...
tons of companies that will cut back on employees, customer service, and other services, even though they know that it's going to jeopardize customer satisfaction.
Okay. Look, let me tell you this.
I mean,
okay?
it is what it is.
I think it's great that America wants to provide health care at a fair and reasonable cost to everybody. I think that's a great thing. And if you had the option just to opt in, okay, I think that's a wonderful thing.
But it wouldn't work that way because everybody wouldn't opt in. And
Understood.
the thing is, there's going to be, I mean, the other side of this, there was a time that we were all up in arms about how much money was going out the doors with all these people, illegal and not, going into emergency rooms, on their deathbed and incurring all these costs.
$50 billion for LA County.
Yeah, I mean, we used to be very upset about that. And now we have something in the works that are going to eliminate that. And we're still upset? And
It's not going to eliminate it.
It's
There's going to be plenty of people that
that's-
aren't going to do this. There's plenty of
I mean,
people
there's
that...
always going to be people that are not going to follow the law. Absolutely.
Okay. The point I was making is
march
that,
over the border every day.
the economy still is not fixed. People are still having a hard time, especially business owners. Especially. It's very competitive out there. And they need to turn a profit and keep the business running. And when you tell them, guess what? You need to do this and this and this, and this is going to affect your bottom line. I just have a problem with that. Do I believe that small businesses should provide health care to their employees? Yeah, depending upon the size, I absolutely do. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. But to go to a business and tell them, you must do this, when they're not set up for it, they can't handle it. And we know that all the schools...
They have time to get set up for it. And, Steve, don't you think that it's true that some of these companies are using this as an excuse?
No.
Oh, come on. Are you kidding me?
No.
Because every business owner is on the up and up and is going to tell the truth. You don't think anybody's going to say, you know what, at least I could use this as a reason to cut costs.
As an example, okay?
Come on.
As an example.
And you know what, let me just tell you, there's a lot of different plans out there. Start shopping for ones that are not as expensive. You know, you do have choices, companies.
Right.
Give me a break.
But
And they get a break on it. They get up to 50% tax break on making sure that your employees are covered.
You get that bronze plan, you get the Civil War tent.
No, that's up to you.
Waste.
That's totally your choice. You can pick the bronze.
Not your choice on whether or not you have money or not.
Well, yes, it is. It's your choice as to what you've done with your life to provide you with the money that you need to live your life.
Say you're a business owner and you have 100 employees, okay? And you're in a service business that you don't provide health care for your employees. You don't. But you guys all talked about it years ago, and you said, look, I want to pay you the best salary I can, but it doesn't come with benefits. Or I'm scaling back your salary, and I'm paying benefits. And everybody said, we want the salary, and we'll make the decision on whether we want health care. And this happened, let's just say, as an example, 5 years ago. Now that company has those 100, 150, 200 employees, and now they're told, I'd have to pay health care. I'm not set up for this.
Okay.
I can't deal with this.
Well,
so what do I do? What's my choice?
Your
Okay,
choice is
I'm going to keep everyone at the same prevailing salary that they have, their same hourly rate, but I got to cut you back because I can't afford it. I can't take the six-figure hit a year. My
just
business model
out the
doesn't.
sky, you come up with that.
Oh, yeah, because that couldn't possibly happen.
No, I'm not saying that it can't happen. I'm saying that this is the reality of it. The reality of it is that you're obligated to pay 85% of your employees' health care. 50 of that you're getting back. 50 of that
Ultimately.
you're getting back. It isn't ultimate. It's at the end of the year.
Right.
That's
You have to
your
be
right.
able
That's
to pay
ultimately.
it to get it back.
Right.
You're running a
Okay.
company.
Wait, I know cities up and down the state that have scaled back their cities, governments that have scaled back their employee base just because of this.
Yeah,
Okay.
really? Really?
And we know that cities, the only city around that could afford to pay this was Bell.
Yeah. In the day.
Yeah, so, that's the only problem I have with this. Do I think everybody should be able to get affordable health care? Absolutely. I think that's a great thing. I just have a problem with the force feeding of it.
Well, Americans as a whole tend to not do the right thing all the time, and that's why it has to be force fed. That's why.
That's
Because
the problem
people
that I
don't
have.
do the right thing all the time. They don't.
Okay.
And the reality is that everybody should be able, not only should we be able to have insurance, we should not have to deal with pre-existing issues as being filters as to why you can't get insured.
And I agree
we
with
also
that.
should not have to mortgage our homes to be able to take the medication that will really relieve us of our issues. We shouldn't have to do that either. There's a lot of different issues and provisions and benefits other than the cost that you keep harping on. And I understand that the cost is a big deal. And I've said from the beginning there's going to be growing pains in the inception of this program. But it's necessary. It's necessary pains.
Okay. Let's see what a caller has to say about this. All right. Let's go. Can we put one on? You are on live on News Talk Radio.
Good morning, crew.
Good morning,
Chuck.
Chuck, what do you think about this? I know people that currently have health care in place, but they have to make a change. And in making a change, it's going to cost them more money.
Here's the change. You ready for this, Angelina?
Go ahead, Chuck. I'm ready for you.
All right. My son is a healthy 27-year-old with a wife who is healthy and a healthy daughter. She was an incredible supporter of Obamacare until this happened. The premiums increased $1,200 a year. The deductible increased $6,000 a year. The prescription drug increased 90% on the copay.
That's the Affordable Care Act you're talking about.
No, that's
Yeah.
that's the option that she chose. It's not necessarily the cheapest
Okay,
one.
do you want to have the same kind of option?
No, I'm just saying. I was just
Same
correcting Jeff
kind of
because
coverage.
it's not necessarily the cheapest.
The same level of coverage. You cannot deny it's the same level of coverage. And do you want to just have the minimum? I'm going to pay $1,000 for this minimum coverage when I was paying $1,000 for a good coverage. You can't deny that fact.
You go into the clinic, it looks like a Saw movie.
Now, here's the other one. Government subsidy eligibility, 0. Network out of copay increased by 100%. My son does the numbers. He's an analyst, acquisitions analyst.
Uh-huh.
And his
He
income
understands numbers.
doesn't allow him to get any tax subsidy.
Right.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
he never said that it was going to be the cheapest. He said it was going to be affordable to most.
It's not,
There was
it's
a whole lot of
affordable.
there was a whole lot of people that were making $50,000 a year that couldn't afford to have insurance prior to this.
It's not. Well, there's a whole lot of people. This is not affordable. They are going to have to they're actually considering not having another child now because of the cost that it's going to be. She grew up, and her mother is, she is a Obama supporter 100% all the way through. My daughter-in-law is now saying, "What was I thinking?"
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those examples that is based on fact. It's not pulling the number out of the sky, Angelina.
I know. I totally understand. I totally understand what you're saying to me. And again, I've said before that it didn't. This provision did not say that it was going to be cheaper for all. It said it was going to be affordable. And for some
Then the
people, it will
government-
be more money. $1,200 sounds crazy to me. I mean, I would probably be upset if my cost went up $1,200 in a year or two. But for me, and all I could do is speak for me. For me, as a nation, this is where we need to be because people need to be able to have insurance that they can afford overall, and they also need to be able to have the ability to go to doctors without these restrictions that we became very accustomed to. So that's just where I am on it. I'm sorry that's a reality in your family, absolutely. But I know that there's a lot of other families that are very happy about being able to take their diabetic baby to see any doctor that they need to be seen for their illness and not have to mortgage their house for treatment.
They're going
to
be making an appointment in November to get in next March.
You can have your fantasy situations all you want, Steve, but that's not
fantasy,
necessarily it's not the reality because you've not tried that, right? You're just making this up.
I've seen it elsewhere in the world.
Okay, but this is not elsewhere in the world. This is America,
Okay.
and you don't know.
And we're
You're
not
making
following the same
assumptions.
blueprint other
You're
places
making
do.
assumptions.
Okay.
Why does my government say, "Oh, you can afford this because this is what you make. You can afford this because this is how much money you bring home. So now we are going to take it and make it affordable for them, and your increase is going to come out of your pocket." Why is that so if it's an Affordable Care Act? Oh, you can afford this because you make such and such amount of dollars.
Now, that is a
that
point.
fair?
I mean, that is a point where the government's telling you what you can and can't afford.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I absolutely support everybody having the ability to get affordable health care. Okay? Especially if you have a pre-existing situation. I absolutely support that. I just think that there are just some rough edges to this that didn't get sorted out before it became into effect.
Well, we know it's going to be growing pains in this. We know that there's going to be
by design. It's by design. There's problems with it, so the whole thing will collapse, and we can go to the single payer program, and that's what the government wants. Ultimately,
I don't believe that that's the case.
They want us all chipped and single payer.
With a lot of laws that are implemented, there's always other laws that have to come in to take a look and to straighten out things that are not carved out correctly in the inception of it. We deal with that all the time.
They were already told in the market, in that marketplace, they were already told there are problems with this just in the rolling out of it. They've rolled out Medicare, they've rolled out Social Security and all these other computer programs, but they were told it's not ready to roll out yet, and now they had to shut it down to start it over again. Mm-hmm. They were told this months ago that they needed to wait for a little bit. And that was the providers that are part of that market option share on that webpage. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember the exact name of it.
I think it's Covered California or Covered CA or something.
And another thing, speaking of people being put out of business, I was talking with an insurance agent friend of mine that first he has to go through all kinds of onerous hoops and everything to get certified with this thing, more than he's had to do with any other kind of policy in his life. And when it's all said and done, he gets $14 per form that's turned in and no renewals. And they're pushing everybody to the exchange sites. So they're going to bypass the insurance people anyway or just make a pittance on the thing. So that's eliminating that entire industry. So those people are going to be out of work.
Okay.
So you'd rather have
negative after negative after negative after negative.
Really? So you'd rather have the insurance guys employed other than people have insurance? You'd rather have that?
Or you'd rather see yet another industry driven out of America? Is that what you're saying?
What he's saying
is... Yeah, that's what he's saying. No. He's saying, you know what, let the insurance guys have their job. Forget the people that need insurance. That's what he's saying.
No, what he's saying is...
What is he saying?
Here you are a guy that is in the insurance industry, and you're now being told you get a flat fee of $14 for every guy you sign up.
And if the insurance companies could get carve-outs to maximize their profits, that would be awesome, too.
An insurance agent and an insurance broker isn't an insurance company that sits up in a big ivory tower.
Mm-hmm. No, I know. I'm saying
that are sitting at the restaurant buying the pizza and buying the gas at the local gas station.
No, I understand that.
It's funny when people lose their job. It's great.
No, I was
laugh it up.
I was laughing at a listener said, "You're surrounded."
You know, Chuck, I understand exactly the frustration that you're talking about, and I can, definitely understand the frustration that your son and daughter-in-law are going through. I will say, though, because of the healthcare costs, don't let that derail you from having another child.
Well, I'm telling her because, she wants another grandbaby, but, what can I say?
I think the whole world is cause to derail you from having another child.
Yeah,
well,
that's true.
Okay.
But it was, she said that you were living in basically fantasy land, and I wanted to give you a fact.
No, I do understand that there's going to be more, that some people are going to be paying more. I do understand that.
Why is that?
Because he didn't say it was affordable to all. He said it was affordable to most.
Oh, there we go. But he's our president representing all.
Well, yeah, he is representing all. He's representing the little guys that didn't have insurance, that no president prior to him hooked up.
Those are the holders of the Obama phone.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He's representing me like a proctologist with a hook hand. That's what he's doing.
I don't have an Obama phone, and he's representing me.
Okay. Actually, you know what? You're not, Angelina. If I can, you have health insurance.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
This affordable health care, it didn't affect you whatsoever.
No,
You've already got your deal.
I already had my insurance.
Right.
My premiums did not go up.
Yet.
Listen, it is what it is.
Right.
It did not go up. And so I hear all these other stories. I don't know why it hasn't affected me, but it is what it is. And if it did go up, for me, I would gladly pay the extra because I know that there's a lot of other people that are benefiting from this. and that's where I am.
You would
I
gladly pay.
am so glad you have the disposable income to do that.
I don't
know what?
necessarily
If-
have the disposable income, but I do have the compassion for the other people that didn't have the ability to afford it before. That's it. And I don't have a problem with the growing pains right now. I don't. Because I feel like in a couple of years it'll be washed out. Just like when car insurance was extremely high, when it became mandated in California, 10 years later, look how cheap it is. You can get insurance for $35. You can get catastrophic insurance. You have options. Whether or not people want to take it, they can.
That catastrophic only covers a catastrophe. Going to the doctor on a regular basis?
No, there
was a time I had no insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I had 3 kids. I couldn't go to the doctor because we didn't have the money. Catastrophic is not an affordable insurance plan. That doesn't help the kids to go to the doctor. It only helps the kids when you end up, this is catastrophic. Oh my gosh, this is thousands and thousands of dollars. I understand that.
Yeah, we got a limb sawed off. That's when you can go to the doctor. That's a great plan.
Taken care of.
Well, kids are not the issue here, because kids would have always been able to get insurance because the government's already.
We didn't qualify for CalMed. We didn't qualify for any kind of insurance because we worked our took us off, and we made just a tad bit more, but we didn't make enough. I took care of, do I make a medical payment? Do I make the $500 a month? Or do I make the house payment and put food on the table? Because that's what it was costing me. It was costing me $500. 20 years ago, it cost me $500 a month.
Really? 20 years ago?
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
And
Wow.
it did not, and my kids were healthy. I didn't have all the problems that I have compassion for. But it would cost me, and I understand the affordable part, but I have been there without insurance. And I just hope and pray that nothing would ever happen, and we didn't get, catastrophic is not medical insurance.
No, I know that. I didn't say that it was. I said that people have options.
Catastrophic up, though.
Because catastrophic is an affordable option. If you are 20 years old and you don't want to spend the $100, you can get the catastrophic care and still be living within the law. That's what my point was.
But that doesn't help that 25-year-old who is teaching in a substitute. This is a true story. She's teaching in a substitute position, and she has a stroke.
No, it won't.
It didn't cover all of it.
No, it's not. It's only for you broke your leg when you were skiing. No, I understand that. I'm just saying people are saying that they don't have any choices. You do have choices. Whether or not they're viable choices and realistic choices, it is your choice.
You forgot to mention that substitute teachers now working 25 hours a week, too.
Right. Which is true.
Yes.
That is a fact. And I didn't mention that, but it's not just coaches. It's also substitute teachers, okay, that are all being scaled back just because of this.
Listen, the bottom line is more people comply, the more people get on the bandwagon and get insurance, it will drive costs down. If you want to be upset with somebody, call the big insurance companies that are gouging us $50 for a Band-Aid. Don't be upset about the need. Be upset about the gouging.
I understand, but what I'm saying to you is...
The gouging is the insurance companies. They're way overpriced.
But listen...
I understand the gouging, but who's going to cover for those people that come into the hospital and don't have any insurance, and they got to cover it anyway?
But what if you're in this situation? I'm just throwing this out. You're a substitute teacher. You work 35 hours a week. Mm-hmm. Now the school district tells you, guess what? Now you're only working 25 hours a week. So we're cutting your income back, and guess what? Go get your own insurance, because if you don't, okay, you're going to be penalized, and you're going to have to pay a fine.
It's a growing pain.
Okay?
It's a growing pain. It's okay.
Yep.
Think about that. And that's not just the Antelope Valley. It's going to be school districts up and down the coast and from New York to L.A. Mm-hmm. It's going to be and I'm just throwing that out. It's not just schools, but it's business in general. Mm-hmm. Yes, is it going to be a problem? Absolutely. Is it going to hit people right at the dinner table? Absolutely. They're going to lose income and have to spend more money that they don't have the ability to spend. It's going to be a problem. Mm-hmm. I see it as being a problem. Does it help people? Yes. There is a sector There is a carve-out group in America.
Carve-out group.
Listen, there is a
subgroup.
There is a group that this really does help. Okay, it does help anybody with a pre-existing disease that couldn't get insurance, or it was so expensive, okay, that there was no way they could afford it. All right, that's a great thing.
It does affect. It does help a lot of seniors that they don't have to necessarily take out, like I said, that second mortgage to pay for their arthritic medication. There's a cap. You pay up to $2,500 a year, and then you will be able to get your stuff. You know, I mean, there was just so many things that was wrong with the system prior to this that everybody has forgotten.
Right, but this created a whole new series of problems.
It's gonna not necessarily create a whole. It depends on how you view life. If you view life that everything's always something wrong, then I guess it is gonna do that for you. If you don't like change, then of course it's gonna do that to you. But the reality is that the good and the benefit of this outweighs all of what you're talking about, because we're talking about lives and we're talking about people's ability to be able to get what they should be able to have, and that's health care.
But you're also talking about people's ability to provide for their family, because now their hours have been scaled back, and they now have to spend $450 a month that they didn't have the ability to spend.
Change is always good. The Weimar Republic had change. That was good, too.
Okay. All I'm saying is there is a group of people in America that this is not going to benefit. It's not going to help. It's going to hurt. Will it help a lot of people? Absolutely. Is it going to hurt people? Equally as much. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. I just found my daughter-in-law's post on Facebook, and this is public. I feel like such a Tea Partier. Well, I'm not going to say that word. But let me just say, if I get pregnant, I will have a home birth, and that home birth will cost less than my new deductible.
Yeah.
Because we don't get to keep our old plan. I want everyone to have the chance at affordable care, but looks like for us it's much cheaper to go out of pocket, like thousands of dollars a year cheaper. I don't mind paying a little extra to help others, like we're doing last year, but this is crazy.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
The middle-class family that the government is sticking their finger in our back in other places. The middle class that's taking the hit. And it's going to hurt us even more.
It's true.
I want Democrats to stand up and say, we are here for the middle class, and we are not going to hurt the middle class, but we're going to help the socioeconomic lower class as well, and those who can't afford it, and put in a real, true, affordable health care act. Not something that's going to hurt the middle class and squeeze us even more and make even more of a class distinction in the socioeconomic.
I don't have any issues with what you just said at all. And like I've said before, I think that with I wasn't here when Social Security was carved out or the welfare system. I guess I shouldn't even take the welfare system off that comment. But I wasn't here specifically when Social Security was carved out. But I would venture to believe that when you try to implement something of this magnitude, at any point, there's going to be growing pains. There's going to be issues. There's going to be reasons for Congress and the Senate to say, you know what, we need to take a look at this particular carve-out because it's not working. All those things will work out.
We got that going on right now.
No, these people are just mad.
You people.
No, I said these people, Tea Partiers specifically, are just mad because they didn't want it to happen. Now all of a sudden they're like, let's take it off the books altogether, and we'll come up with another one. Really?
No,
now,
these people is my son and my daughter-in-law that it's costing them extra dollars out of their pocket.
No, I'm not talking about them.
Well, you said these people are complaining. They're complaining, all right, because it's costing them extra dollars for the same coverage. It's costing them more. It's not costing less. It's not even affordable. It's costing them more.
I understand.
And it's these people, Angelina. Put a face to it. It's these people that have a face and a name.
I don't think that the Tea Partiers, because that's who I'm talking about, I don't think the Tea Partiers could care less about how much more your daughter-in-law has to pay, or me for that matter. I think that they're just sour graping it because they don't like it. Because the people, those are the people that absolutely probably could afford whatever it is, because they already had insurance and they already had the hookup of all hookups. So they're not looking out to the little man because they don't like it. That's not their agenda, in my opinion. They're just pissed off because it ain't them.
I will say I just got 3 text messages from 3 listeners, and they all said she's 100% right.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Mark's
I'm just
Engels and
keeping it
Lennon?
real. What?
Mark's, Engels, and Lennon?
Yeah. I'm just throwing that out there, okay?
I didn't know they have reception there, huh?
No. Now, it is interesting when you look at the people that maybe will take Angelina's side and maybe will not, but you look at their individual circumstances, it's interesting to see who takes whose side, okay? It is, okay? And that's where it gets really skewed.
Why?
Because the people that this doesn't affect think that you're wonderful. You're right. They have no harm. Affordable health care is great. People that this does affect, they don't agree with you at all. They think this is the craziest thing in the world.
That's not true. Because somebody that texted me, one of our listeners, makes money well over me, and he agrees with me, and has not an issue about the fact that he's going to have to pay a little bit more, because he doesn't have a problem putting himself in a position of doing more for the greater good. So that's not necessarily true, because I get what you're saying. I mean, no, listen, the thing about disposable income is that it's only disposable if you want it to be. You know what I mean? Like, we know of another listener that was like, oh, I can't afford it. But yet they were doing all these other things. You can't afford it because you don't want to afford it. I get that. And I'm not trying to critique anybody or tell them how they spend their money. I'm not trying to do that. But my bottom line is, no, Steve, it's not everybody that doesn't have a lot of money that's going to be believing in it or seeing it my way. That's not the case. Because I saw the writing on the walls that you were trying to portray.
No, what do you mean?
So then disposable income means that I have
42.
a choice, or the government has a choice on how they're going to spend it or how I'm going to spend it.
No, everybody has their own choice on to how they're going to spend their money.
Not under Obama Affordable Care Act.
Okay, so
Not under that one.
So what do you say to somebody like Chuck's son and their family that all of a sudden now it's going to cost them 4 figures more a year?
Suck it up. It's for the greater good.
What do you say to someone like that?
Quit your whining.
No, I don't say that. I think that it's terrible that they're put in a position to have to make that choice. And I just say that I appreciate them making that choice, because it is the benefit of all. It is in the benefit of all. And if I had to pay a little bit more, I would hope that people would appreciate the fact that I'm doing it without, complaining about it. I mean, it is what it is. I can't sit in any position and tell Chuck's family members, well, pick a cheaper plan or do whatever it is. You have to do what works for your family. And I totally understand and appreciate that. What
if you're not given the option that works for your family?
Well, everybody is given the option. You
don't give it an option. You're mandated. Mandate and option aren't the same thing.
It is a mandate. Yes, you're right. But there's a range of how much money you have to put out. And you don't have to pick.
And some people don't have the money to meet any of those. They're scraping by. We are in a recession.
If they're scraping by, they're getting free medical. I'm just telling you the truth. If they're scraping by, they're getting free medical.
No, not necessarily.
I understand what she's saying.
Yeah.
And right.
Ask Shauna about who's scraping by and getting free medical.
Well, that's a whole different.
That's a whole different thing.
Okay.
Because I'm sure she'll get her ski lift passes for the. I mean, you make choices.
Oh, she gets those free from the radio station.
I know where you're going. I understand.
You're making choices as to where you want to put your money, and I understand that too.
You can feel free to jump in anytime too.
I totally understand. It's for the good of the people, all of the people.
Oh, yeah.
I just wonder how this would be perceived if it was a Republican.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'd be shot to hell.
What? What did he say?
If a Republican had been the person to propose this whole Obamacare.
A Republican wouldn't have, because they don't care about the little man.
Neither does the
That's such a bunch of crap.
No, they don't care about the little man. The
That's
Republican
such a bunch
says,
of crap.
make sure that the people that own these big industries have little to no taxes, and they will trickle down money to the little people.
Let's see. Let's take a poll in the room and see what the conservative has done for his fellow man versus what the liberal has done for their fellow man. That's a bunch of crap, and I wasn't told to do it by the government.
Okay.
I'll stand up against any liberal.
Okay.
I don't know any liberals that do anything for their fellow man.
Okay.
This is where it gets a little out of control here. Okay.
Okay.
Because instead, let's just be sensible about this, okay? And not get overly passionate, okay, to where we want to kill each other, okay?
I don't want to kill anybody.
See, this is exactly what's going on in Washington right now. This is exactly what's happening up and down the state right now. Everybody is having the same argument and the same problem with this. Angelina.
But the reality is that everybody has voted, and it is what it is. It's the law of the land right now. And to take the position of
From a stacked
2-year-old,
deck.
No, hold up. To take a position of a 2-year-old saying, I don't want this, so since you're making me have this, let me shut down the government because you're not letting me have it my way. That's adolescent. That's adolescent, because you tried everything that was legally in front of you to get this shut down, and you lost.
I don't agree with the shutdown.
It's totally time for you to just deal with it and help the country to make it something that works for all. Not, I'm going to shut down everything, because realistically, the Republican Party that has created this shutdown, the people that are hurt by this are not the Republicans, not the 1%. It's not. It's all the other little people that are hurt by this. And that's the reality.
But not all Republicans are 1%.
No, they're not. Some of them, some 1%ers have sense. Yes, you're right.
You're talking about just like what the president said was a fraction of a party.
Right. Tea Party. Yeah.
So
Okay.
but you just painted the entire Republican Party as all Tea Party.
Because they're part of that party, and they didn't kick them out. And the
That's
Republican
like
Party is not standing up saying, no, we're not doing it. That's not what happened. They went along with it. They're allowing it. Am I right or am I wrong? This is being allowed within the Republican Party.
And I don't think anybody on the other side is taking advantage of this political position, and they're not going to be benefiting at some point in the future.
That's not the point, though. They lost, and they need to deal with that loss. That's the point.
Okay. I just have a problem. First of all, I don't agree with the government shutdown, and I am a Republican, and I don't agree with a lot of things that are going on in Washington. But let me say this: I do have a problem with the fact that when you created the Affordable Health Care Act, that you knew it was going to overly cause harm to a sector of America, and you still went forward with it.
I don't believe that he believes that. That's your assumption.
Man, he's a nitwit.
How are you in his head and making assumptions like that? I can't even say that.
What do you mean?
I can't say that. Why would you be able
Because
to
you
say
couldn't
that?
please everyone. Okay, that would be impossible.
Yeah, you can't please everyone. That's
You
very
can't,
true.
okay? So I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I can please 55%. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, because that's about the percentage of votes I need anyway. I'm going to go at 55%, please this sector of America, and the rest of them go to hell.
Screw you. Yep.
I just have a problem with that. Because there are people that are going to be harmed. And this is a great example of it.
I'm sure.
You're sure? What?
Well, in your when you paint the brush, when you paint your portrait, there's always some negative. I have the same facts that you have in front of me, and I don't see what you see, Steve. I don't.
Okay.
That's our reality, is that we're seeing it from two different.
I understand.
Your glass is always half empty. Mine is half.
Mine
full.
is half full, always.
Yours is always half empty. Stop.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Really? You know, oh, wow. Okay.
You need a break now?
What?
You guys haven't taken a commercial break in a half an hour.
I know.
Right,
we're out
yeah.
of control. We have to take a break.
Let's go ahead and take a break. You're listening to AVNewsCast on News Talk Radio
Have a great
1380,
day,
and we'll
people.
be right
You too,
back.
Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck.
If you're thinking about getting your backyard in shape for entertaining, there's only one place to shop, and that's Abadak Outdoors in Palmdale. At Abadak Outdoors in Palmdale, you'll save up to 70% off retail every day at our factory warehouse showroom. Abadak has everything you need to get your backyard in shape, like 7.5-foot tall, 41,000 BTU, freestanding LPG patio heaters for just $159.99. How about a fully enclosed backyard gazebo? Fire up that barbecue and enjoy a nice meal inside one of our Mandalay, Trinidad, or Mykonos free freestanding gazebos, just $219.97 every day. If you want wholesale prices, come to Abadak Outdoors in Palmdale. How about backyard shade or car canopies? You can pick a variety of color choices starting at just $129.97. Stop by Abadak Outdoors in Palmdale. We're located at 38940 Trade Center Drive, 1 block east of 10th Street West. The Abadak Factory Showroom is open from 8 to 4 every day. That's Abadak Outdoors at 38940 Trade Center Drive in Palmdale, where you'll save up to 70% off retail every day. Check us out on the web at abadak.com or give us a call at 661-480-1562.
Vote for my daddy on November 5th. You know why? Because you put back music and arts and sports. Please vote for my daddy. Please get the most vote because to put back music and arts back in the schools. Goodbye.
Who's that kid? That kid is Justin Moffitt, age 6, who is a prodigy student of the Palmdale School District, and Jeffrey and Star Moffitt are the proud parents to Justin. Jeffrey Moffitt, tax attorney and candidate for the Palmdale School Board. Moffitt wants your vote on November 5th. Why? Because your vote, Moffitt, will restore after-school programs such as music, arts, and sports back into the Palmdale School District to prepare students with becoming globally competitive. Vote for Moffitt on November 5th. Why? Because Moffitt believes students are first before politics. Why? Because Moffitt is the most qualified. Your Moffitt vote is your voice to ensure your child will not be left behind. Moffitt is the people's choice. Moffitt on November 5th.
Welcome back to AVNewsCast.com on News Talk 1380.
And we're back.
Yeah, we are. Okay, and let me just address one thing. Okay?
What about your glass?
Yeah. Okay. Because you can't blatantly just throw lies out in that microphone and then go to a commercial break.
Whatever.
Okay, that's just wrong. Okay.
I think Steve has a dribble glass.
She knew what she did, okay, and that's fine, okay. But really, it's not fine. It pisses me off.
A little bit.
A little bit.
You should have seen him walking around in this
percolating.
little studio.
Yep. It's really hard, you know. It's hard because I'm, we're stuck in an 8x8 cell. There's 4 of us, okay. Yeah, I do.
Sometimes he wants to choke me out.
I do, and it's very hard to
choke me.
To keep your words from getting
bad ones. Oh, I know.
Fined. Okay, it's very hard because you want to blow up.
Yeah.
What's
but
interesting?
You're very good at your little. Oh, Angela, you'll throw me a cookie and then take that cookie out underneath my chair so quick and think that I don't hear what you're saying. That's what you do to me on a regular basis. Mr.
What's
Benson.
interesting
But
is taking a pulse of the people that are listening to the show, that are texting and Facebooking, and the whole thing. It is interesting that I have to say that it's kind of like 60-40, maybe even 65-35 in Angelina's favor.
Well, because the world has switched into a tax taker, not tax maker mode.
Yeah. Hi, you're live on News Talk Radio.
Hey there, you guys. This is Patriot Stan over here calling up. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question. I'm listening to your stories this morning, and I hear a story about the half glass, half empty, half full. You guys got 2 minutes for a little scenario?
Please.
On that?
Yeah.
Do me a favor. I want you guys to do me a favor. I want you to pick up your coffee mugs for me.
Okay.
Mine's 110 ounces.
Right now, it doesn't matter the weight because I'm going to educate you on the truth of the half empty, half full glass.
Ooh, okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Now, Patriot Stan is listening to so many things about whether the glass is half empty or half full. I want you to take that glass, I want you to lift it up, and I want you to put it straight out in front of you. I want you to hold that glass.
Doing it.
Now, as you're holding that glass, I want you to focus on it, and that glass, by definition and by all respect, is your life. As you look at your life, you're looking at your life and whether that glass is half empty or half full. If you want to get all theoretical and chemical and based, it could be half empty or half full. Most people call it full all the time. If they look at it as the fluid that's there, say it's water, well, there's H2O, there's air. There's also water in there as well. But you're still holding those cups out in front of you, straight out with your arms straight out, aren't you?
Still am.
Outstanding. Well, I'm going to give you a little bit different version of this.
you're looking at your life. You're defining the good, the bad, the indifferent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're hanging on to those cups. You're holding those straight out in front of you.
Yeah, I am.
If everything's doing this correctly, you should be feeling the weight of your life right now.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah?
And the weight of your life is now becoming difficult, stressed, lethargic. Now, if you were to take and hold on to that glass, you want to squeeze it as tight as you can, you want to squeeze your life, you're going to destroy that glass, just like a grain of sand. If you hold on to a handful of sand and you squeeze it, you have nothing to hold on to. It will slip through the cracks of your fingers.
Yeah.
Well, what Patriot Sam would like to tell you guys today, as the Patriot Sam, as you're looking at your arm, as you're looking at that glass, whether it is half empty or half full, do yourself a favor and put the glass down.
Woo! Thank you.
When you have the ability, the strength, the fortitude to step back just long enough to take a good look at your life, it doesn't matter whether the glass is half empty or half full. Thank you guys very much for allowing me to let me on the show today. I think you're absolutely amazing, and thanks for the services that you're providing to our country. And this is Patriot Sam, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you, Patriot Sam.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Always good to have him call in.
Yep.
Yep. Angelina's like, when did he call in?
That's not true.
Huh? That is Patriot Sam from the Antelope Valley.
Nice. Yeah.
And I'm happy to have him call in anytime.
Now my tricep is singing from
I
holding
know,
that cup up.
burning.
That's 110 ounces.
Okay, just to set
That's
the
a
record
heavy life
straight,
I got. Mm-hmm.
Just to set the record straight, my glass is, one, always half full.
Oh, Jesus.
Always. And two, I always find a silver lining in something.
I will say you normally always find a way. Absolutely. But a couple months, his glass was empty, right? You feeling me, right?
I know
You're
you're
going with
headed.
me.
I know you're
Thank
headed.
you. Thank you. Now your cup runneth over.
It does. And it's really nice.
Mister,
just cough my mid out.
No. So, come on now.
And it's, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
It's
all right.
a beautiful thing.
It's got
It
color
is a
in his
beautiful
cheeks.
thing.
Exactly.
Okay? Yeah, I've got bounce in my
Tapping his
step.
step.
Yeah. I've got bounce in my step. We're just about out of time for the
hour
day.
went by fast.
Tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
at 8:30.
Yes. Start time! Yes!
There you go.
Oof.
You can't let that go.
Oh.
You can't let that go.
Oh.
Yeah, tomorrow we're going to have a great show tomorrow. Michael Stein will be on at 8:30, so make sure you tune in. Have a wonderful day. We'll be back tomorrow. And thanks for making us the #1 news talk radio show in the Antelope Valley.